and welcome back to Mucky Hope Productions. I'm here with Coach Drew to talk about the latest episode of US Survivor, episode 10. Heavy sigh.
Yeah. And just to get this out of the way, I don't really have top 3 things because I mean I'm normally a very optimistic person when it comes to seasons. Even like in my head, 5 and 39 are the only bad seasons, and 48 is nowhere close to 5 or 39 as far as bad seasons. I'll just put that out there. But this has kind of just had this trajectory of starts off very hot at the pre-merge. The swap is pretty good, and then as soon as the merge hit, especially after Say left, it's just been like it's I won't say, I guess I could say repetitive. Even the David boot was just kind of telegraphed, and we're not paying attention to about half the cast and the edit. You can tell who's a casual and who's not by how they react to the star vote out, because I've seen people online that have been, I was at a watch party, I'll get to that in a second. And I see people online, it's like, okay, yeah, like what was she doing anyway? And that's the other half would be like, oh yeah, but like Star was fun TV for the 2 seconds that we would get her every week. But you know, it's her, Mary, Mitch, who, I mean, I guess I'm glad that he doesn't get content because what's he doing? Mitch and there's one more that I am forgetting. But they just kind of taken a back seat now to this power alliance, and specifically we get a lot of Joe and Shaheen content, which is fine. But I want to know what these people are thinking, and it's frustrating.
Well, we've got shout out to Gabe. Hi, this feels like New Era Ghost Island.
Yes, and yes, that is exactly it.
Send help. Yo, what's up? I didn't think anyone could find us here. Just for those who don't know, I usually do this as a pre-record and I add clips, but my editing software is on the fritz, so I'm doing this as a live, which is really lovely because we have you guys watching. So feel free to join in the conversation with heavy sighs.
New Era Ghost Island is a very accurate way, because I do know, like when I go back and watch this season next year, I know I'm gonna dread it, and the only thing this has over Ghost Island is the fact that pre-merge was so fun. But like at this point, I really don't care who wins. Like I'm not really rooting for anyone. You know, if Joe wins, cool, that'd be whatever. If Shaheen wins, good for him. The only person that I would be annoyed with would be Eva. And so, watch party. It's in New York City. So I'm a horrible guesser, but I would say there's probably 100+ people in a bar watching this episode. And I haven't been around people watching the show this season, so everyone's picking each other's brains about how they've enjoyed it or whatever, and almost universally no one liked Eva, which for the longest time I thought I was just in a minority for that. Like I thought it was just me, and I felt bad because, you know, and it turns out that most of them didn't, and it's because of the anti-women thing. And that part I understand. And then the other part is I feel like production spent some time with her. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, that's not really her fault, though. It's not really her fault that the production is putting all this time on her, because they pick who they want. They pick who they want to show, if that makes sense.
I think, yeah. And it's boring, but got to give props to those who have stayed in power. I think that's what's bothering me about the Eva edit. It seems very, very easy for her, and that is really jarring. And I think that's I don't think she's doing anything wrong necessarily. Like, there's this alliance. And if we're going to talk about, our winner picks, I'm going to say it's probably Joe. Because
it's probably Joe. It's probably, and that's That's crazy that we could, like, last season I could say, oh yeah, it's probably gonna be either Rachel or Genevieve, but like it could go either way, and one of them or both of them could get knocked off at the end. In this one, it's like, okay, yeah, it's Joe, and the only way that that doesn't happen is if Shaheen turns on him, which he could, but it doesn't seem like he will. And so it's Mike Holloway-esque, where
Yeah.
in Worlds Apart, you pretty much figure out that Mike's going to win right around right around when Joe goes home, because Mike's the only likable person left, like he's being portrayed as likable left. And in this season, Joe doesn't have any negative content. I don't think, no. Joe has no negative content.
No.
He's shown prevalently in both his game, his duo, and his alliance. Like there could only be him, and like I said, I'm fine. You can. It would be great for the people that say you can win this thing with honor and integrity and all of that.
Well,
BS.
yes. I guess that's lovely.
Yeah, I'm. You know what? You did it, Joe. You did what Coach couldn't do, even though Coach was a liar most of the time. I don't know. I'm not vibing with the season, and that's something that if I'm saying it means that it's probably not good. It's probably not the best.
It's just that, and we'll get into this, I guess, but look, they've got their strong alliance. It's working, but I've never, and you'll be able to help me out here, I've never seen everyone else roll over quite so readily to an alliance before. There's always someone that's like, no, but they, am I wrong? Yeah. Am I crazy? They had their chance and they just went, oh, but what if Joe doesn't like me if I vote out someone from his alliance? So I don't want to.
Yeah, that's so, and maybe that's just how. What's the word? How great Joe is as a person. Maybe that it's very similar to like how, you know, there's that confessional in Tokensheens where what was his name? Brendan, I think his name was Brendan, says, yeah, if I can't win, I would love JT to win. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, we just merged. You're just saying this? And no one has straight up said, I don't think anyone has straight up said this besides maybe Eva, but their actions are showing it. And the fact that they Joe has to know, it's like, okay, why do we care? Why can't we just piss off Joe? It's all right to piss off Joe. What is he going to do? Hit you? Just vote him off. Worst case scenario, he doesn't vote for you to win at the end, in which case, tough cookies. Would you rather sit next to him and lose to him that way?
I think Gay was like, main thing he's shown is I'm always morally correct against the Jew. But have they, what hypocrisy? That's the like, is he really that good a dude?
The only the only person he's lied / flipped on is David. And
which
I mean,
David would have some things to say, I guess.
I guess that was a fun moment. David on the jury, he looked sick. Like, I know they lose weight, but like it didn't look like he was that bad until I guess he was cleaned up and you could actually see his face, and like it looked like he had his cheekbones were like, it was very scary. Hope he's all right. And so sitting here watching him pout on the jury was a fun time. Star's rap was fun for what that was. Shoot, her confessionals for when she got them this episode were a lot of fun. The immunity challenge was like probably my favorite part of the episode was the immunity challenge.
Yeah.
Because that was proper intense. I had no idea who was going to win that. The bar that I was at, we were basically rooting for everyone that wasn't in the Power Alliance. And so the air kind of got sucked out when Joe did win. Joe won? Yeah, Joe won. But we all were sitting there like, oh man, maybe we're going to go to Rocks because they had started teasing Rocks and we're paying attention to the time. And it's like, maybe they do. Maybe this happens. No, it's just Star Goes Home. It's just Star
Well, I was thinking, okay, so Joe wins immunity. Like, look, everyone knows, like, I'm no expert. You're the expert, Drew. Okay. But you are. Look at between the two of us.
Okay.
But I was watching and go, okay, well, Joe's got immunity. He's untouchable. Fine. Eva, they know she's got an idol. Okay, fine. Kyle is sort of in with Camilla. He's out. Fine. Why didn't they just make a dive for Shaheen and go to Rocks if need be? I don't understand where Mitch, Star, Mary, and Camilla decided no, Star, because they kept talking about Star being, I guess, too hard to work with or something.
Yeah, which we never see that. We never see that. And then what Mitch has a confessional where he's saying, he's saying all this positive stuff about Star, and then he like shits on her. It's like, where's this coming from? Like,
well, fine. Yeah. Okay. She voted for him. Fine. Okay. Mary and Star vote. Okay. But is he so deluded to think that we're getting down to the business end. We're not at like 10, 11 or something. There is a strong 4. Could Mitch not see that? Did he think that maybe he was 2 or 3?
His perception is wrong. And Gabe's comment about Mary being this season's Charlie Brown. Yeah, that is exactly it. She, from the beginning, like you all the way back to the beginning of the game, and Mary has just, she keeps losing her people and she keeps surviving. And Mary's, pretty much at the point where Mary is what these people perceive Star to be, of like, Mary's probably not going to win at the end. And not because she did anything wrong. She just can't gain any traction. And that sucks, but sometimes that's how the game, what's his face? The dude from Boston from 45 or 6, whose name 6:30. I can't remember. Yeah. But it's things like that. Kyle and Camilla are my only hope right now of like because they're such a close duo. Jake from Boston. Yeah. Kyle and Camilla are the only hope right now of flipping the game. And if they do, then they just, you know what? Good for them. And I think that'd be a great episode if they do.
How on earth?
They get Mitch and Mary.
Okay. And Kyle. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because Kyle and Camilla are the two. Kyle's basically just playing undercover this entire time with the big alliance because he's relaying everything to Camilla.
That's true.
That the big alliance is doing. So if Kyle and Camilla can say, hey, now is the time that we flip this game, because there's no, at that point you take out Joe and it's just Eva who's by herself and oh no. And Shaheen
will be smart enough to figure out something else.
Yes.
Yeah. Because he's a hustler.
At that, or you get rid of Shaheen first and just let Joe and Eva try to bounce back, which if you're Kyle and Camilla, like this has to be the route. The episode that comes out tonight. You have to flip, because if you don't, then all of a sudden this other duo, the one that everyone knows exists, they can pull in or Mitch or whoever and just kind of say, hey, let's get rid of one of these people.
So, here we go. I did agree this episode, Kyle wasn't incentivized. I can't even, it's too late in the day. He really needs to know, or he ends up like Albert. Who's Albert? Which one's Albert?
Albert from South Pacific, where they kept trying to get Albert to flip. And he's like, oh, I might. And all of a sudden we're at the end and he never mites. It's just he just sits at the end, and everyone just thought he was just saying it just to appease them, so he could like look good to the jury, like, hey, I thought about it. And in reality, never really thought about it. But he really needs to flip like soon, because if he sits at the end with Eva and Joe, he loses. If he sits at the end with Shaheen and whoever, he loses. He has to get rid of them. And Camilla's still in a better spot, because she can say, hey, yeah, Kyle told me everything, and I never felt really scared because I had my number one ally over here, and Kyle's been jerking y'all around, but I wasn't, because I told you exactly what I was doing most of the time. And we've got like two episodes left, I believe. So I don't know. Like, this is not, like I said, this is not season 5 or season 39 to me. Like, this is not Worlds Apart. This is Ghost Island. Gabe, this is Ghost Island. It's just a more exciting version of Ghost Island, which is not saying much, because I'm not like, I haven't been excited for an episode this season since the merge.
Star was so good. I'm sorry. She was so funny. That pisses me off. Now, Gabe said he's safer now because Camilla has lost more people on the bottom who are good with her. So if it is by some stroke of luck, Camilla and Kyle in the final 3, do you think Camilla wins over Kyle because Kyle is going to have to flip?
Based off of the Honor and Integrity Alliance, yeah, they're gonna hit their feelings hurt that Kyle would do such a thing as lie in this game. And I don't like, David wouldn't vote for him because Joe, I mean, I would hope that Joe gets it. I would hope Joe gets it. I don't know if that's going to actually be the case, but I can hope that Joe gets it. I would hope that Eva as an athlete would get it. I don't know if she will get it, but hopefully she'll get it. And then everyone else are actual gamers, like Survivor gamers, and I feel like they would appreciate it. But it depends, because if Camilla goes up there and says, "Hey, I've been doing this whole thing, like when we swapped, and I out of the blue, was saying, hey, in public, hey, the two of us are close." And it's like, yeah, that's the most appealing 2 of 3 for me, is if we get Camilla and Kyle, because that would be a great duo that stayed under the radar together, as compared to a duo that's out in the open, which we've seen plenty of times with Joe and Eva. Like, if they make it to the end, it's like, okay, yeah, that happens pretty often, where a duo makes it far to a game that everyone knows. So
you think they'd get onto that, Kyle needs to get Camilla out and sit at the end with Mary and Mitch.
That's I feel like that would be a win for Kyle. And I know we only have like 2 episodes left, but it's still a long way to go. I do plan on going to the city for the finale. Just because like watch parties are so much fun. Because you actually, it's like watching a sporting event, but with Survivor nerds. And so it's and we're all drunk. So it's a good time. And I know, like, I was there last year when Rachel won, and that was exciting. I was also there when Gabler won, and when I tell you that I've never seen the air sucked out of a room so fast. And we're getting back to my hotel room that night and just going on the internet and just watching people like jump off cliffs. You're just like, I can't watch this anymore. It's like, okay, guys, it sucks, but like, get over it. You'll watch next season. It's fine.
I know we're all shills now to the CBS teat or whatever.
48 is what people think 41 is. Like, I've never understood the 41 hate, I guess. 41's not one of my favorites, but like, it's fine. It's probably the nostalgia of that was the first post-COVID thing for me. 48 is actually boring. Like it is. There is a steamroll happening here. In 41, it wasn't really a steamroll. Like there were moves being made. Like it wasn't just. And Erica wins. It's not like Erica was in running the game the entire time. If Eva or Joe wins it with time. Oh.
If Eva or Joe wins, they'll be at the top of New Era winners for controlling the season. Well, they have. It hasn't been hard, but they have.
If Joe wins, if Eva wins, God. And it's full on bias. Like that's literally all it is.
It's just because it's easy. We don't like to see things being easy for people.
Yeah.
We as human beings love an underdog.
Yes.
And especially Eva, I feel like it's just smooth sailing, easy, and that's what is grinding my gears about it.
Yes.
You know, the smugness. She can't help it really, but it's also like it's just her position. She's been put on a silk blanket, a silk pillow by Joe. And yes, she's good in challenges and stuff, but she's been carried to the end.
Yeah, and devil's advocate. If you're in a good spot, why would you do anything different?
Exactly. Why would she rock the boat? She's in a good wicket there. Same with Joe. No one. I don't really blame them.
Yeah, you can't.
I blame Mary, Mitch, Camilla, and Star.
Yeah.
For not getting together and figuring something. That's who I blame.
Yeah. Because I always say, because I play a lot of online games.
Yeah.
And it's almost poetic justice, because I'm always saying, hey guys, why don't we just stick together? Because why don't we just stick together? And then I always use the excuse of, hey, we're not playing on TV. We're not playing for an audience. We're like, who cares if we don't make any moves? Like, we're playing these for fun and for like $200 if we win. Who cares? And then eventually they'll flip and they'll vote me out like around 7th or 8th place. Here, they are playing towards a TV audience. And they, and I respect them for sticking to their guns of, I don't really care what the audience says. Like we could sit there and shit on the season all we want. If Joe wins $1 million, who cares what people are saying about you online?
Yeah.
You won Survivor and we didn't. And people might not like your season, but it does not matter.
Yeah. Yeah. Gabe says Camilla and Carl really should have voted out Joe over Thomas in pre-merge. Would have been a turn. Well, coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Yes.
I wonder if they're watching that very thing.
We're going all the way back to Thomas.
Yeah. So we usually do top 3 things on this show. Do you have any top 3 moments?
No.
Do you want to rattle off?
The immunity challenge, Star's rap.
Yes.
And David's face.
Yeah, I agree. And I think if we're going to go for winner picks, I'm sticking with Joe, because I think that's where the fishing line with the chocolate that CBS is dangling in front of us, I think that's where it's dragging us to.
Yeah, and fine. They can wipe their tears with $1 million at the end. Exactly. Like, no matter how negative their season is received, it does not matter, because they won and we didn't, and probably never.
That's the best knees this episode. Eva.
That's a throwback. That's a throwback.
Yeah. Eva, like, that's the thing. She was my winner pick at the start, and I do maintain that. She is a beast. She's incredible. Yeah. But I just don't feel like she's earning anything of what she has. And even Joe, I feel like, is earning it a little bit. And Eva, come on, Eva. Do something to impress. If you're going to win this, do something to impress me. That's all I ask. But she does have good knees. She's very strong. She's an absolute strength beast.
Got hockey knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want something cool to happen.
Yes.
And
Yes,
I think
please.
that could happen this episode.
Fingers crossed. Well, on that, because we always keep it nice, short and sweet, subscribe now where you can, we'll see where our mental state is at next time we sit down and be like, oh, Mary's out. Okay.
Come back for the finale.
Or, you know, that is my prediction. If we're going to just keep this slow and steady decline, Mary will be out. And it'll be like, okay. It'll be like everyone votes for Mary except Mary. That's my prediction.
I'm pretty sure she even said that. She was like, yeah, we're probably going to be next. It's like,
okay. And follow our Instagram, Mucky Hope Productions. We're also on Spotify. Thank you so much to everyone who watched. Thank you. Thank you for finding us. And, you know, we are all part of the Chronically Online collective. So it's nice to see that come together. Thank you so much, Coach Drew, for braving your illness to chat to me this morning. Fingers crossed for anything happening.
Yeah.
But I guarantee next time we're talking about Mary being eliminated.
All right.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Well, everyone.